I have the pleasure to be with INSOMNIUM today after their Hellsinki Metal Festival gig. How did it go? How do you feel after the show?
I think audience was great. We were great. The festival was great. That equals as a really rare Finnish opinion that this was actually okay.
Yeah, especially considering that it was afternoon show, I think the audience was really good and there was a mosh pit going on. So nice surprise.
Yeah, and it was really nice weather, which is not something that you can always assume in a Finnish, open air festival, that it can rain, it can be whatever.
Yeah, I think in the morning it looked kind of bleak. It looked that going to be thunderstorms and rain, but it was much better.
Yeah, so it's your first time because this is the second edition of the festival. So the first time for you in any band. So is it like does it feel any different to playing Tuska or playing whatever other?
Well, usually the smallest stage that it's here, it's not the ice hall. And now it's like main stage 1, main stage 2, and ice hall is the small stage. So that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Have you played?
Like, I heard like last year many good things. Like all my friends were saying from bands, this is fucking great. And what people are waiting for Helsinki, for example, because Tuska is getting bigger, bigger and bigger, and now this is again like Tuska used to be like small and nice, not that small, but like small.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, and I think that, for the audience, I think it's a lot. I mean, from the audience point of view, I think it's a bit nicer. Yeah, at least you can drink next to the stage. They don't forbid all kinds of silly things, silly rules that they have in Tuska, for example.
And same feeling than Tuska. It's concrete and
Yeah,
asphalt.
yeah. So
Helsinki.
today was the first time that I actually saw the new lineup. I didn't know about Tommy. I haven't seen him or heard him before, and I thought that he worked very well. And in addition to the guitar work, the backing vocals or like clean vocals. Did you know him from before? Like, how was he audition, or like how tough was it to find a replacement that could also do vocals?
I can answer to this like we with my and the band Omnium Gathering, we played a show in Turku 2000 or 2001. Some scene militia might check it out, but either way, over 20 years ago, Tommy was playing in a band called Morbid Dream, which became after that Hate Form, which is a great band. But we played a show back in the day when we were young and shy, not wild, and nobody. It was in Tommy's hometown, and nobody. Tommy just his amp broke down, and nobody gave his another amp from the Turku people, and we were from another city from far beyond, and Tommy's been laughing me still. Like I was the only one to like. Tommy was asking like for me, the last person, because we didn't know back then. Like, can I borrow your amp? And I was like, of course. And since then, we've been friends. This was 22 years ago. Tommy was filling also in my own band, Omnium Gathering, for Amonama tour years ago. And he was in my wedding, and he's been like a good boy of Turku. Turku is a city of weird people, but Tommy is not one of them. And also these guys knew.
Yeah, I was living in this weird city of Turku, and I survived, and I also knew Tommy back then, like over 20 years ago. So he's an old friend, so it's very natural for us to ask him.
Yeah, but
to
I
do
think
the
it's a
show.
really good fit because I think you can pretty much with the tone mime someone's guitar playing, but like the singing is very similar to Yanis and Ville also. Like they kind of have the same style of singing, or like I think it doesn't make the old songs sound weird with him on vocals.
Yeah, that's good to hear, and we think so too. That Tommy is an excellent singer.
Yeah. So how did you ever hear anything about Yanni anymore? Like, did you ever get any reply? Like, what happened?
Maybe it's better that we don't comment this too much, but we don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah,
Really.
it was very confusing for the fans, but like
We've
I think
heard,
it was
but-
confusing for you.
No comments.
Okay, yeah. So no comments on that. But since the last time we met after I did an interview after you released the last album, and back then I think you were telling that maybe you have another project, and now this year. We know that you were also part of Cemetery Skyline, and did you do a lot of writing also for? Or is that a full album that it's coming? Or
Nah. Well, yes, I actually pretty much formed the band, and accidentally, it was one of those things like became really accidentally as a band. Like I wasn't actually forming a new band, but things happened, and that's the honest way of doing things. Like gathering with the friends you have on the road, and then let's just do music, and that's how it went. And
yeah,
we never were into playing any shows, but then Mr. John Smith forced us to play shows, and I have to give credit for John Smith,
yeah, but that is
Jonne, that pretty much he made. Well, of course, we have an album coming, and it's like a what we are thinking to be like a project of albums here and there. But now after John Smith, now we have next year for many things lined up, and every one of us will be fucked up with schedules. Especially Michael next year because Michael is having 3 albums out. But
yeah,
if you love what you do,
yeah. He's almost
there's
as
always
active
if
as
there's a
you as
will,
a
there's a way.
yeah.
That's the thing.
And you connecting this with the Insomnium universe. I was wondering whether you writing for so many active bands. Do you know when you come with an idea for a song that what band is this for, and or has it ever changed that you intend something to be something and then it ends up being something completely different?
I have no idea how the songs are written. I don't have any particular like a rhyme to do songs, so it's always painful. It's always painful. It's never easy, and always checking like backwards my history. I'm still surprised like how did I manage to do 200 shows on that year and write an album and record it, and I don't know. I think second me is living in another universe. And
Yeah, but when do you know, but for example, that okay, you are working on an album and then you get in the mood to write like insomnia type of music, because there's it can be very different, at least Insomnium, I Am the Night, they're like 3 completely different bands. So but how do you get it? Does it come from the heart, or from musical theory? Do you watch any movie to make you sad or happy, or like how do you like get in the mood to write the right kind of music for the right band?
I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I don't know. I don't have any gateway to do this. Pretty much only gateway is like the schedules. Like I know when in someone is starting to do, I already have one song. I haven't told. I've been suspicious, but like usually it's like this band is writing now and this band is running now, and with upcoming Omnium Gatherum album, it's been tricky because now also I Am the Night should be doing an album, and I've been tricking myself trying to do OG song, and then I'm not going ahead of that, and then it accidentally becomes I Am the Night song. Not the same song, but like the mood, like it's all about the state of mind, but it's weird.
Yeah,
I
it's hard
wish
to
I could
explain.
explain it
Yeah.
because I would also wanted to explain it for myself,
Yeah,
but
but I think it's better if it's natural. If you have a method, then it
yeah.
turns out more natural, spontaneous.
Music is music.
Yeah.
It's not anything
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's happenings, weird happenings in the
yeah,
brain, and that's how it should be.
yeah.
Not
No
any
AI in Insomnium. No artificial
AI.
intelligence. No room for it. Yeah,
I'm really bad with phones and computers. You could ask my wife,
Mm.
and she would
yeah,
laugh
yeah,
for you because I cannot
yeah. But
use machines.
I don't think that
basically
many
at
bands
all.
will use for writing music, or I hope so. But I've seen a lot of artwork done that is so clearly done by artificial intelligence. Do you put a lot of effort into finding a real artist and
Well,
develop a concept?
in my opinion, like the AI is complete bullshit. When if we would ever start to use with that, then I would be somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, well, we did this one video with AI, but like
I was against it.
And yeah, right after it was ready, I was like, this was a bad idea. But okay, we tried it, but I don't think we're gonna do it again. And it's not a very good video, and like AI is scary and it sucks, and
Mm.
real artists should do the art.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, definitely. Now, Nilo, I wanted to ask you because you've also been really busy with writing, like proper, like fantasy writing, and I found at least a couple of them in Finnish, and I don't know if you like how much of your time does that take, and how important it is to you, and is that something that will kind of be the basis for the concept of the Insomnium albums for the future, or like, or are there two separate things, and sometimes they happen together?
Well, they are separate things, and it takes a lot of my time, and majority of my days for many years now has been writing those books when I'm home. And of course, when we are touring, playing shows, it's impossible to think about it because you have to get into the right mood and have the time and privacy and to think about it. But of course, I take it seriously, and I'm writing the second book at the moment. And when we get these August festival shows done, then I have some time in September to write the book. So
Yeah, are they all in Finnish so far? Or
yeah, at the moment,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So maybe at some point they will be translated, or
I hope so. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think I have to finish the second part so it's ready before anybody buys the rights. So I shouldn't be hasty about the translation. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And well, I was also curious, checking a little bit of the bands that you tour with. I don't know how much of that is like management, or like label, or like do you pick the bands? Because I've seen that you've taken like very good bands on the road, like this Wilderon, and in morning, and now I think Yotun, I think, was somewhere in some gigs. So like, do you like stay in touch with the younger, like maybe you're still young, but like maybe younger than you, and then you choose the band that you are interested in taking on the road, or how does that work?
Both these bands were picked by us in Morning and Wilderon because we like the band, so we asked, "Do you want to tour with us?" And that's how it started. But of course, some bands come through management or our agency, so it varies.
Yeah, and well, you're also
For example, the shirt you're wearing,
yeah.
completely through our management. We didn't know that band. But
Okay.
that was awesome, and after
Yeah.
that tour, I became a fan.
Yeah, I know they're great.
But usually, we love music, so
Yeah, no, it's
we
good that you
actually
some
wanna tour with
musicians said
bands
that
which are
they don't
cool
want to
and we
listen to
like it.
new music just because they're late, or because they don't want that to interfere with their own songwriting. You know that not all musicians are music fans.
Those are the bands that will be using AI for cover artwork, which we will not.
Yeah, and well, you announced it recently that you will do the 10th anniversary of Shadows of the Dying Song, but it's just a few European dates, and I was wondering whether that kind of concept tour, concept set, is it something that you do for fun, or because you have to maybe show something different in between album cycles, and like for certain territories, or can we think that will expand to other territories, because it's like quite a short run in the end?
Well, it's also fun for us, not only for the fans, because we basically do the same old, in bit different shape, but you know how the band's set list are. If you drop some songs, people are like, "Why did you play like Iron Maiden? Why they always play Trooper?" That's probably not because they want to play Trooper, but that's the thing. So I'm really much looking forward for the Son of the Dying Sun tour because also for us band it's something new, because it's something new old and something we have to rehearse, which is always good, and keeping things interesting.
Yeah, we haven't done this kind of thing before. We have just played few shows with this theme. Like we played one about the Weeping World show, one Across the Dark show, I think. But
And we actually did live streams for Heart of
and Winter's Gate.
yeah, and both albums like Son
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
Dying Sun
yeah,
and
yeah.
Hot like a grape. So
Yeah.
But like a tour we haven't done before, so it's interesting for us to try
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
this.
That can be an idea, in between album cycles, because then you don't need to play the same. Because I was thinking that then you tour and then you may do the same city twice, and maybe they don't want to watch the exact same show. And I remember when you did like the two Tavastia gigs, like one day after another, you change a little bit in the set list. So if someone wants to come to both gigs, it's not gonna be like a carbon copy of the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
well, at the same time it's tricky, and at the same time it's like a really good because for the Tavastia it was sold out. So there was people who wanted to see the show, but they have to get the ticket for another show, and then if you change the set list, they might feel
Mm.
the whole thing with set list is like a fucking weird because we have 9 albums, 2 EPs. It's really hard.
Yeah. So, well, we're a website from Chile, and I think it's the first time that you're going to visit Latin America now in December. So, I guess that's something like completely new for you guys. And do you have any, expectations? Have you heard anything from Latin America or the fans in Chile and other countries that you're going to visit?
We never visited Chile, so we've only heard stories, and the stories are good.
Yeah.
They told that Chilean audience is one of those in the planet which is crazy, and that's how we love it. Play for the crazy people, so I'm really looking forward to playing Chile. And we've only played in Mexico, and
Yeah. Yeah. So Mexico.
and
Yeah.
that's like if you said in European standard, we only play in Finland, so we don't know what's happening in Spain.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but you said that you at least have a new song, but then there's no like deadline now for Insomnium has been quite prolific in terms of new music. But are you taking it a bit easier to focus on other projects, or do you know when you're gonna release the next album?
I don't think we have a clear plan yet about the schedule, so we shall see.
When we have enough good songs for a good album, then it will be out.
Yeah.
We
So.
don't release bullshit.
So now that I don't know how much involved Village nowadays. He's really busy. He's gonna do some of the dates with you, but like how much involved he's in the songwriting nowadays, or do you take most of the responsibility for that, and then you do the lyrics, or how does it work nowadays? Has it changed him since he kind of stopped being so permanently in the band?
Well, of course, it has changed since, well, Shadows of the Dying Sun, and Ville hasn't been so active anymore. So already with Heart Like a Grave, Marcus did most of the songs, and others contributed a little bit, and same thing with Anno 1696. So let's see what happens with the next album and
Mm.
how much
Yeah.
Ville can contribute. We are not sure yet.
Yeah, but also about Tommy, like since you're like old friends, do you think that he can, also contribute, or like is he like a permanent member? Or are you like still seeing how
He's
it
a
goes?
live member at the
Yeah.
moment, so
Okay. Yeah, but we can expect him to be there on in the
in
South
Chile,
American
yeah,
tour.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because I think it's a really good feel. I'm sure that people are like maybe wondering how is it going to be with, but I can recommend 100% to go to the show because like it was really really good. All my questions. You have the chance to invite people to the show. It's in December 8th, Santiago de Chile, and you can say send any greetings to the fans. It's open mic now for you.
See you, Chile, in December.
That's gonna be nice, at least for me and for Neil. We expect you to enjoy because it's the first time, first dance. That's gonna be rad.
Yeah. Thank you guys for your time and follow our channel.